Hey everybody, this is Tyler. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can spawn a non-player character or NPC in your game. So let's get started. So usually when we're trying to spawn NPCs, we are trying to get them to drop from like the top of the screen or come from the right side of the screen. So I'm going to show you an easy way you can do that by using sprites. And what you're going to do is you're going to grab this set projectile to projectile from side with VX and VY. And we're going to drag this out here. And then I want to spawn an NPC or non-player character, every 2 seconds. And a great way to do that is by using on-game update every 500 milliseconds. And then we can then use this parameter to change it to a different time. So 500 milliseconds is half of a second, 1,000 milliseconds is 1 second, and then 2 seconds is finally 2,000. So I'm going to do this for 1,000 milliseconds, and I'm going to put this in here. So I'm going to rename this from projectile. I'm going to call it meteor. So I'm going to use a meteor sprite here in a second. And I'm going to click on that gray area and go to gallery. I'm going to scroll down until I see a meteor that I like. I want to use this one. And if we hit play, you'll see this meteor coming at an angle. So now our next step is to figure out how we can get them to come from different sides and at different speeds. So this VX and VY are actually controlling how fast they go. So if I were to change this to 100 and replay it, you're going to see it coming at a sharper angle. I can push 0 here. If I didn't want to go at an angle, and you see it coming here across the top. So how can we get it to come from not going left to right, but right to left, and also coming from the sides over here? So as you can see, we're using a positive number for VX, and it's going right. If we change this to a negative number, so I'm going to type in -50 here. And then when I hit play, you'll see it going across the top. So now let's change it to where it's coming from the side over here. So I'm going to go back to sprites, and I'm going to find set my sprite X, and I'm going to put it right below here. I'm going to change my variable name to meteor, and I'm going to change this to Y. And then I'm going to type in not 0, but let's use 50 for this one as well. And now we have the sprite coming from the side, just like we wanted. But it's only coming from one location, instead of coming from multiple locations or random. So that's the next step I do. I want this not just to come from one side, but to come from multiple sides. So I'm going to go back down to math, and I'm going to grab random. So the Y coordinates go from 0 at the top and they go to 120 at the bottom. So I'm going to do 10 and 110. And then that will give us our random NPC or non-player character generation, coming from random side from the top. So if I wanted to switch this, instead of coming from the side, to come from the top down, I just need to switch these parameters up. So I'm going to change this to X. I'm going to change this one to 0. And I'm going to change this one to -50. Or actually, I'm going to do a positive 50. And now we get it. All of our NPCs or non-player characters, or sprites, dropping down from the screen at random times, random intervals. You may need to change this up a little bit because the X is actually a little bit larger. So we can change this to, let's try 140. See what that gives us. And that's it. So thanks for watching. And this is a really easy way you can spawn NPCs in your game.